I've got no problem whatsoever with people of means, celebrities, wealthy people traveling around in private jets. If they can afford it, yeah, that's their business. I don't care. What I care about is when these people who are spewing copious amounts of toxic fumes from their jet airplanes, their private jet airplanes, when they don't have to, and simultaneously they are saying that we are destroying the fragile atmosphere by having stoves in our houses. That I got a problem with. I mean, you got to be consistent or you can be a hypocrite, but you can't be both at the same time. And in my opinion, if you are complaining about man-made climate change, which is largely a myth, I mean, the climate changes, it always has, it always will. The time to worry is not when the climate changes, the time to worry is when the climate stops changing. But when I see these people traveling around in their private jets, or like the Obamas living on the ocean coast, even though they say that ice caps are going to melt and flood the coast, I see some hypocrisy there. Okay, now with that said, let's go over to one of my favorite singers, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift. Swift, right? It's not Smith, it's Swift. Okay, I got to tell you, as a disclaimer, I possibly could be the only person on planet Earth who has never, well, I can't say I've never heard her sing. If I've heard her sing, I didn't know it was her. I mean, if you were to play a Taylor Swift song for me at this moment, I wouldn't know it was her because I'm not familiar with her music whatsoever. Now, Dolly Parton, yeah, that wobbly voice, like warbly voice, whatever it is, that I could tell. Amazing businesswoman, women, both of these people, but Taylor Swift, just as a disclaimer, I'm not a fan of her music because I've never heard her music. Maybe if I heard it, I'd like it. I don't know. I'm a fan of her as a business, don't want to call her a tycoon, that might be overstating, but as a successful businesswoman at such a very young age, yeah, I'm a great admirer. Her political views, her sociological views, social views have much to be desired. Anyone, in my opinion, anyone who's that woke. So why are we talking about Taylor Swift? Not Smith, Taylor Swift. Well, we're talking about her because apparently her legal team, according to a news story, Washington Post, has sent a warning. Her legal team has sent a warning to a student. I think this kid is 22 years old. Okay, 22, that's not a kid anymore, right? But he's a third-year student at the University of Central Florida, according to the report. And for many years, he has kept track of private jets. I guess it's kind of a hobby of his. I don't know that he's endangering anybody. But these private jets tend to belong to people who are notables, like billionaires, like movie stars, like politicians, like Russian oligarchs, like NBA players who are not privileged. Well, a couple of them are, but most of them are not privileged, even though they make millions of dollars. But he gets this information from publicly available information. You could get it if you knew how to get it. I don't think I cared that much about it to find out how to get it, but it's a hobby of his. And so apparently he is posting on the internet the whereabouts of Taylor Swift's jet. And they're upset about that because I guess they're contending that it's an invasion of privacy and it's endangering both her and her family. And I would assume anybody who happens to be traveling with her, friends, family, pilots, whatever. But I'm just kind of pausing here. I just can't imagine. I know there are a lot of people who like Taylor Swift, and there's a lot of us who don't like her political views. I have no problem with her whatsoever. If she wants to live in a mansion on the ocean, just like the Obamas, different place. She lives in basically an all-white community, which is another gripe I've got with her. But if she wants to do that, it's her business. I think I can be a fan of her business acumen without caring for her political views. But they're upset about this. They want this guy to stop posting where her jet is. And I'm not even sure that he's posting when and where she's going to land, descend. So if the bad guys want to get to her, they can't get to her. What about the good guys? What about the fans who want to see her land and hop off her airplane? Yeah, I'm old enough to remember when the Beatles did that, and, thousands of teenage girls who are now in their 80s, I think, went to see them. That was a big deal. I'm not sure Taylor Swift is quite, maybe she is as popular as the Beatles, but she doesn't have that, she doesn't stir up that same fan base reaction as did the Beatles. Different type of reaction. So what do you make of this? Well, what I make of it is you can't have it both ways, and I can understand the privacy thing. I think I can empathize with her and her legal team on that. I'm not sure they have legal standing, the free speech thing. You can say, hey, I saw somebody here and I can see them now. Am I violating their privacy by doing that? Apparently her legal team thinks maybe at least enough to try to intimidate this guy into stopping his hobby. But according to the attorney, the name is Barone, I believe, kind of like Ray Barone, I guess, sent a follow-up letter accusing Sweeney, that's the student, of engaging in harassing conduct by posting about Swift's aircraft. So, okay, number one, we've got the hypocrisy thing. On the one hand, these people are griping about, not Taylor Swift, but, the woke left in general. They're griping about what they think is human contribution to climate change, and if we just knock it off, we could save the climate. I'm for a nice, clean environment, but I'm not sure, we're having that much of an impact. But the other thing I have with her that's a little bit pointy with the hypocrisy thing is owning this massive mansion in an all-white community. Woke leftists are supposed to be advocates of diversity for the rest of us, I guess, but not for them. I got a problem with that. So to Taylor Swift, I would say, and if you can fight this guy off, I guess you probably can, but keep in mind, being a quote liberal, unquote, which I don't think liberals are liberals. I think they're Marxists, but they just call themselves liberals. But because they call themselves liberals, ostensibly, they should be believing in liberty, as in free speech and freedom of action. So to silence this guy Sweeney, I think, is to impinge upon everyone's free speech. But the woke left doesn't seem to have a problem with that. They have a problem when we, or anyone, tries to silence them in the slightest. But when it comes to what's come to be known as cancel culture, they're all over it. And this is just kind of a cancel culture thing, only it's one-on-one, but the impact, the ripple effect. If you can silence this guy, you can silence everybody. If you can set a legal precedence to shut down this guy Sweeney, you can shut down everyone. All right, now, this is the important thing. This is the key thing to all of this, in my humble opinion. When these people, like Taylor Swift or John Lennon, when they decide to go into the entertainment industry knowing that celebrity has its pitfalls, they know it. They know if you're going to be a big name celebrity, you're going to have paparazzi. You're going to have that inconvenience. You're going to have a fan base, which is one of the reasons you go into the business, is to have people be your fans, so they buy your stuff to make you wealthy. Fame and fortune. I think it's 99% fortune and 1% fame, but fame you got to have to get to the fortune, right? So it's all about making money. They know that going into this. That's one of the hazards. Comes with the territory, and if you can't put up with that, then maybe you should not be in the celebrity business of whatever type of celebrity you are. Because going into it, this is going to happen. And if you can't handle it, maybe you shouldn't go into the business. But if you are going into the business, you know what's going to happen. So don't gripe about it. Just my opinion. If you got something out of this video, join our family by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and we'll see you all next time.